Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G. John Galindo, coming to you live this Thursday afternoon. It's the All 78 show. Apologize for being a half hour late. I think that happened the last time we were here. But there were other circumstances, I think, that time and this time. So with the holidays going on and everything else, Johnny G is behind the eight ball as I normally am. But thank you all for being here. Some good things we have to wait for sometimes here. So those of you that are tuned into the program, thank you all for being here. Hope everybody had a great Christmas. Want to wish a happy Hanukkah to those that are celebrating Hanukkah this season. I think it started the other night. I got some cool 78s out of my collection. I was cleaning a lot of them because I had some time to do it. I didn't do the 60s show, so I was cleaning some. So then I'm deciding I got too many of the Charioteers or too many of the ink spots or too many of whatever. So I had to go back and find others. So therefore I was behind. But anyway, we opened up this December 26, 2024 78 show with a flip side from the last time. Tenor saxophonist Freddie Mitchell and his orchestra, his third release on Larry Newton's Derby label. What was the flip side? Jingle Bell Boogie, I think it was. I didn't even put it on here. But this is Auld Lang Syne from November 49. It featured that piano player there. His name was Rip Harrington. He was on piano. It's on the Derby label. Freddie Mitchell and his orchestra. Auld Lang Syne Boogie is the name of the tune. Johnny G already messing up for the day after. Too much wine is what it was. But anyway, I digress. Let's open up the vocal portion here. I was going to go right into a 1938 song, but I decided not to do it because I wanted to kind of mirror my Saturday night show, although I've been playing early 50s stuff from the get-go. But I like this record from 1956. We're going to open up the vocal portion from Harlem, New York. This group first recording as the Five Willows on the PD record label. That's a rare record, too, if you have it in your collection. I am lucky to have that. Other releases followed on the Allen and Herald record labels. Then they signed with Morty Kraft's Melba record label, and they were first known as the Five Willows. They would drop the five and then become the Willows. This was their first of three on the Melba label. It was a big, big hit for the group, and a record that was in my aunt's collection. It features Tony Middleton on lead. This is from February 1956. Let's open up the vocal portion with the Willows on the Melba label. It's called Church Bells May Ring.
Church bells may ring, church bells may ring, church bells may ring, and surely, darling, the angels will sing. I tell you, darling, you're the queen of my throne. You should have known, sweetheart, sweetheart. Well, the church bells may ring. Surely
It's the All 78 show here on a Thursday afternoon. We open up with the sound of the Willows. Tony Middleton and the Willows, a first of three on the Melba record label. Church Bells May Ring is the name of the tune. You know, that first came out as Church Bells Are Ringing. I have the 45 of that. But that also comes out on a 78 that way, too, by the way. That was a number 62 Billboard charter for them. Number 11 on the R&B chart, a big number 3 record if you were listening to WAFB in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The Willows from February 56 with Church Bells May Ring. And, you know, we count down the music chronologically, both on the Saturday night show and also here on the Thursday afternoon show. And we're going to start it off way back, way back from 1938 here. Anybody born in well, my father was 2 years old when this record came out, and I think it was Busta Bass. One of my listeners to the Wednesday night show asked if I had anything by Louis Armstrong. Well, I did find 178 in the box that I was looking at. I mean, I think I have more. I can't tell you what I have because I just don't know. And, of course, Louis Armstrong, he was born Louis Daniel Armstrong, August 4th of 1901. It was unfortunate he died on July 6th of 1971. He was a mean trumpet player, probably known worldwide with a big hit he had back in 1965 on the Cap record label, a song called Hello Dolly, but first recording back in 1923 with King Oliver Creole's Jazz Band. He was signed with Decca Records in 1935 and recorded this song that I'm featuring on June 24th of 1938 here in New York City. Decca released it in September of 38, a tune written by Jimmy McHugh and Dorothy Fields. And this song dates back to 1928, I think first recorded by Mildred Grizel on the Gannett record label. But let's go to September of 1938 for Louis Armstrong and his orchestra on Decca Records. It's called I Can't Give You Anything But Love.
Oh, I can't give you anything but love. Baby, that's the only thing I've plenty of. Baby, dream wild, scheme wild, you should find, oh, the happiness, and I guess all those things that you have cried for, baby. Gee, I'd like to see you looking swell, baby. Baby, diamond bracelets, World War doesn't sell. Oh, baby, baby, till that lucky day, you know darn well, baby, I can't give you anything, love.
you go. Sounds of 1938 here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That's an early one there. September 38. That's Louis Armstrong and his orchestra on the Decca record label. I Can't Give You Anything But Love is the name of the tune. Johnny G can only give you 78s on a Thursday afternoon. Thank you all for being here. If you're new to the program, just finding out about the program, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. This show has been exploding. We had the biggest show. I had my biggest show ever last Saturday night. I had over 820 people that came to the program. Never had 102 people in the chat room before, so that's a good thing. So thank you all that have come over to the Vinyl Treasure Show here on YouTube. Let's continue here. Let's move into 1941 now. It's a flip side from the last 78 show. I featured the Delta Rhythm Boys with their version of the tune Stardust. This is the flip side. This side recorded February 14th, 1941 in New York City. Now, the group included Clinton Holland, Traverse Crawford. They were both tenors, Harry Lewis, baritone, and Lee Gaines, the bass. This one originally released in May of 1941. My copy, the press that I have, is a re-release from June of 1948. But let's go to May of 1941. The Delta Rhythm Boys on the Decca label. It's called Would It Be Asking Too Much? The Delta Rhythm Boys.
Would it be asking too much? Could we be friends again? Would it be asking too much to see you now and then? I've learned what I never knew. There is no good in goodbye. I've been so hungry for you, I'd even eat humble pie. I'd like to pick up the thread that leads to yesterday. But please forget what I said if you don't feel that way. All I ask is just a smile, a word or two. Would it be asking too much of you? Would it be asking too much for one more chance? Dare to try again, say when, but please forget what I said. Babe, if you don't feel that way, I know it's hard, but please forgive me. All I ask is just a smile, a word or two. Would it be asking too much of you?
There you go, early Delta Rhythm Boys there. Originally May 1941 release. I have the 48 release. June of 48 it came out. Decca re-released it. The Delta Rhythm Boys there with Would It Be Asking Too Much? Would it be asking too much to subscribe to my YouTube page? Give me a thumbs up if you dig these. I mean, who does this, really? I mean, where you can see these records. I mean, I had to clean these things here, and it takes a while to clean a 78. You know, I have to be over the sink. And I have a soft, what I have is a soft toothbrush. Well, let's say it's a medium toothbrush. And I'll use either Dawn dishwashing soap, whatever is there. And I got to scrub the grooves here. Then I got to dry them. I got to be careful sometimes because on the worn 78s, you can take up a lot of the residue, but you try to get all the crap out of the grooves. And sometimes it's never going to help because the vinyl is so poor. It's recycled vinyl and it sounds horrible. So I try to make sure that I have the best sounding records to play for you, the listeners. And one of them is subpar today, but it's an ultra rare record on the Checker label. So we'll hear that a little bit later in the program here. But let's continue here. We are in the year 1941. And speaking of the Delta Rhythm Boys, they backed up this gal, born Mildred Rinker, but she changed her name to Mildred Bailey. She signed with Decca Records in late 1935, first recording with her group the Alley Cats, then with the Delta Rhythm Boys. This tune first done by Earl Hines and his orchestra in December of 1940. Let's give a listen to this version from July of 1941. This is Mildred Bailey and the Delta Rhythm Boys on Decca Records. It's called Everything Depends on You. Mildred Bailey and the Delta Rhythm Boys. Here we go.
I could sing a new song, never sing a blue song. Everything depends on you.
It all depends on just you, dear.
I could end my dreaming, lonely nights of scheming. Everything depends on you. Mountains may be high, oceans may be wide, but I'll reach the sky with you by my side. I could end my story in a blaze of glory. Everything depends on you.
Mountains may be high, oceans may be wide, but I reach the sky, oh my, with you by my side.
I could end my story in a blaze of glory. Everything depends on you.
There you go, July 1941 there, Mildred Bailey and the Delta Rhythm Boys on the Decca record label, song entitled Everything Depends on You is the name of the tune. As YouTube tells me, they say, would be a good time to insert an ad. Well, I think not. Well, you know what? If they told me that they were never going to block my video, maybe I would consider it. But no way am I putting an ad on the show here. So there you go, YouTube. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, let's move up to 1943 now with this group from St. Louis, Missouri. First recording for the RCA subsidiary Bluebird record label. And the group included four members and it says four members and a guitar. They were John Jordan, Robert O'Neill, Norvin Taborn, and Ray Grant. Collectively, they were known as the Four Vagabonds. Is that four? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the Four Vagabonds. And this was the group's second of four on the Bluebird record label. This one released in February of 53. Now, the interesting thing is, I know I had uncles and aunts that worked in the GM factory. Now, I don't want to say that women never worked in construction. I mean, working on an auto line is one thing, but working in construction, that's a little bit different, I'd say, especially for the year 1943. But let's give a listen to the Four Vagabonds on the Bluebird record label. It's called Rosie the Riveter.
All the day long, whether rain or shine, she's a part of the assembly line. She's making history, working for victory. Rosie, the riveter, keeps a sharp lookout for sabotage. Sitting up there on the fuselage, that little frail can do more than a male can do. Rosie, the riveter. Rosie's got a boyfriend, Charlie. Charlie, he's a Marine. Rosie is protecting Charlie, working overtime on the riveting machine. When they gave her a production knee, she was as proud as a girl could be. There's something true about red, white, and blue about Rosie, the riveter. Rosie, working on assembly line. Bubble day, bubble dee dee leave it on that day. Ribby boy, ribby boy, ribby. Rosie, 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 the riveter on the assembly line.
There you go, February 1943 release there for the Four Vagabonds, their second of four on the Bluebird record label. Rosie the Riveter is the name of the tune. I guess, everybody had to pitch in back during the wartime. And there you go, that on the Bluebird record label. Let's move into 1944 now. This gal from Baltimore, Maryland, born May 23rd, 1920. She was one of the few female blues guitarists of the 1940s, known as Bea Booze, Booze. Started singing in Harlem, New York. She was signed with Decca Records under the guidance of Sammy Price, who I think he was a... Sammy Price, he had an orchestra, I think. First recording in 1942, she had a big R&B hit with her version of C.C. Rider Blues. But here's a song she recorded on March 3rd of 1944 here in New York City. And the label reads, this is where I was trying to research this, and I couldn't. It's not rap, but it says... on the label, it says with piano, bass, guitar, and traps. And I'm like, what is trap? So I'm looking, and it's like rap. I said, it can't be that. Rap from 1991. I'm looking for the term, what that is. So if anybody knows it, please type it in the chat room, because I was baffled by that. So anyway, this was her fourth release on the Decca label. Sam Price, he's on piano. Abe Bolar, he was on string bass, and Harold West on the drums from April 1944. Bea Booze, I think that's how you say it, Booze, not boozy, Booze, on Decca Records. The song is called So Good.
My man is evil, mean as he can be. My man is evil, mean as he can be. But I can't quit 'cause he's so good to me.
So good. So good.
I can't quit 'cause he's so good to me. I'd do anything for him, anything he say. I'd do anything for him, anything he say. 'Cause I'm his slave and I've got to obey.
So good. So good.
I can't quit 'cause he's so good to me. He beats me in the morning and he knocks me down at night. He beats me in the morning and he knocks me down at night. But when it comes to loving, he really treats me right.
So good. So good.
I can't quit 'cause he's so good to me. If you women get a good man, I'll tell you what to do. If you women get a good man, I'll tell you what to do. Do everything to keep him if he's that good to you.
So good. So good.
I can't quit 'cause he's so good to me. can't quit 'cause he's so good to me.
There you go. Bea Booze is her name. There's some group backing her up on that too, by the way. April 1944 release on the Decca record label. So Good is the name of the tune. Let's continue here. We move into 1945 now with a flip side from the last 78 show. I featured the 5 Red Caps on Joe Davis's Joe Davis label. Yes, a label that was a label named after the owner. Yes, well, that was done a few times, I think. I featured the side called Thinking, which was the intended B-side of the 78. Let's give a listen to the intended A-side, a tune co-written by label owner Joe Davis. It features Jimmy Springs on lead. This is from July of 1945. They're called the 5 Red Caps. The 5 Red Caps on Joe Davis's Joe Davis label. And the tune is called I Was a Fool to Let You Go. The 5 Red Caps.
All my dreams are about you. Though we are now far apart, there is no future without you. Won't you come back, I never knew you said goodbye. I miss the blue from out of the sky. Now I'm alone and broken-hearted. I want to see. Now that you're gone, I try to forget, but it's too dark and regret. I should have known that everybody I was the fool to let you go. Did I never get what I was forget? Was it pleasure given from above? Like the desert sand slipping through my hand, slowly I let go of priceless love. I must confess I swallow my pride. My happiness in you at my side. Why can't we go back where we started? I was a fool to let you go.
Honey, now that you're gone, I'll try to forget. But each new dawn brings only regret. I should have known the day was parted. I was a fool to let you go.
I must confess I swallow my pride. My happiness means you at my side. Why can't we go back where we started? I was a fool to let you go.
Yeah, folks, sorry for the condition, but unfortunately, what Joe Davis did, he went out to buy old store stock of 78s and break them up and melt them down and repress. And unfortunately, that's the sound that you get on the original records because it's so poor. It's not pure. And they didn't have the materials to make it correctly during the war. And that's what happens with the sound of that. And it's so unfortunate because all the records put out by Joe Davis, at least in the 1940s, by the Five Red Caps, etc., other groups, they are like that. It's a shame, it is, but that's how it was. And those are the Five Red Caps from July 1945 on Joe Davis's Joe Davis label, I Was a Fool to Let You Go. And I'm thankful that Tony Barcia in our YouTube chat room pointed out that's the same song recorded by Lillian Leach and the Mellows on JD Records. That was Joe Davis's label. And also he mentioned the Teasers did it also. I think the Teasers on the Checker label, I think. Anyway, but there you go. That is the original version. I knew it sounded familiar, so I'm like, where is this? So the only way I could have checked it was I could have gone to 45 Cat and typed in the title and then looked under titles, and then it may come up, but they don't have everything, especially the rare stuff. They probably don't have a copy of the Teasers 78 or 45 up there. Maybe they do. I don't know. I never checked. But either way. But anyway, let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We are in the year 1945. Johnny G is your Thursday afternoon disc jockey. If you're new to the program here, just finding out about it, this would have been the second program of the week. Although yesterday was Christmas Day, I was at my sister Lori's. The entire family was there except Tony's children. Anthony is out in Austin, Texas, and I think her daughter Stephanie was in Maryland with her husband and the baby. So they were the only two missing, and we play this game called Screw Your Neighbor. I mean, it sounds bad, but it really is. It's actually a pretty cool card game. You play it with 52 cards, and everybody takes turn dealing, and you have to have, it's a gambling game. You have to have $3. So everybody takes out $3, and my nieces and nephews are funny when they play because they say they can't read their Uncle Johnny with the expression. So what happens is everybody gets a card, and the best card to have is a king, and the worst card to have is an ace. So you don't want an ace, and you don't want a low card. So you switch your card with your neighbor. So you say, here, you take mine, and you give me yours. So you're taking a chance on what they have. But if you have a king, they can't do that switch. You have to show the card. So I can't tell you how many kings I ended up losing the game. I was one of the last four, I think, and it was funny because it was four of my siblings and my niece Amanda, who ended up winning it was a lot of money. It was like 40. It was there were like 14 people that played, so that was a lot. 14 times 3, that's what she won. So it's actually a pretty cool game, and I knocked out my sister-in-law. I knocked out my nephew. I knocked out my other sister, and then I was left, and then I got knocked out. It was kind of funny how it came out, but it's a cool game to play. So if you need something to do, you got to, especially for a big group. Anyway, I digress. Let us continue here, and we are in the year 1945. We go to the Bronx, New York now, with this next singer. She was born September 19th of 1926, and this is her only release on Ben Bart and Harry Lentiska's Hub label, and she's being backed up by a group called the Charmers. And people don't know who this group is, this Charmers group. The tune was popular, the song I should say, as there were a number of hit versions of this tune. Peggy Lee, Kitty Callan, Dick Robertson, Louis Prima, Monica Lewis, Pat Kay, and others recorded this song, but let's give a listen to this version from December 45. Celestine, I think that's how you pronounce it, Celestine, Celestine Stewart and the Charmers on Hub Records. It's called Waitin' for the Train to Come In. Celestine Stewart and the Charmers on Hub.
I'm waiting for the train to come in.
Waiting for the train to come in. I'm waiting for my man to come home. I've counted every minute of each livelong day. Been so melancholy since he went away. Shed a million teardrops or more. Just waiting for the one I adore. I'm waiting at the depot by the railroad track. Looking for the choo-choo train that brings him back. I'm waiting for my life to begin. 'Cause I'm waiting for the train to come in.
Yes, I'm waiting, waiting for that big choo-choo. Waiting, yes, I'm waiting, waiting for the train to come in. Waiting for the train to come in.
Waiting for my gal to come home.
Counting every minute of each livelong day.
Been so melancholy since he went away.
Shed a million teardrops or more.
Waiting for the one I adore.
I'm waiting at the depot by the railroad track. Waiting for the choo-choo that brings him back.
I'm waiting for my life to begin, because I'm waiting for the train to come in.
I'm as blue as I can be, 'cause that man is so far away from me. I've been waiting for 2 years or more, hoping someday he'll knock at my door.
I ain't got nobody. Why don't that train come in?
There you go. That is Celestine Stewart and the Charmers from December 1945. That's on the Hub record label. Hub Records there. Waiting for the Train to Come In is the name of the tune. I will tell you that one thing here where I live in Westchester County, the train ride from New York City, I should say from Westchester to Grand Central, it's a scenic route along the Hudson River. Really a nice, well, it's been polluted for years, but you get to see the Palisades across the over on the Rockland and Jersey side, so it looks really nice on the train there. And it was fun. I never wanted to work in the city. Never wanted to work in New York City, especially in the 1980s. I hated it. I went on an interview. I got this job for Macmillan Book Publishing, and I couldn't understand. The lady was going to leave for maternity, and they hired me. They wanted to change. I felt bad for that lady, the lady in charge. She was the manager, because her workers hated her. And she was trying to change up the department, and they were fighting her. And I remember I went in there for the interview, and you can smoke at the time in the office. So she had this little box office, I don't know, on the 50th floor of this building on Lexington Avenue. I went up there, and she's smoking away, and I'm choking. And she's like, you really want to work here? And I said, yes, I do. It's hard to find a job. Then I didn't want to take it, but I was bribed to take the job, which is against the law. One of I won't tell you who, I forget his name. So he calls me on the phone, and they say to me, Johnny, they want to pay you $25,000 was the salary at the time. I'm talking about 1980, whatever, to go down the city to take this job. So I said, I'm not going to do this. I mean, I got to pay for the train and do all this walking. It's 98 degrees out. No way. So he says, well, how about if I give you $5,000? I said, you're going to give me $5,000? He says, yeah, I'll give you $5,000 of my commission to take that job, which is unethical. So one of the other headhunters I used to deal with found out about that. He flipped. He says, those are the guys that give us a bad name. You got to report him. I says, I'm not reporting him. I have to meet him for lunch, and he's going to give me $5,000 cash to take this job. And I was there 11 days, and then I got a call from a company called Transamerica Leasing. They were moving from New York City to Westchester County, and they were relocating an office in Chicago. So I left early one day, and I went on this interview. And the place was, they were gutting out the place. They didn't put anything in. It was all empty. So I took the interview, and they hired me. They hired me for the same amount of money that they were paying me to go to the city for. So of course I wasn't going to take it. So I was supposed to, the mistake that I did, I could have done, but I'm not like that. I could have taken that $5,000 that he wanted to give me, met him, and then canceled the job. But that wouldn't be good to do, because I'm not like that. But I told the girl, I said, I think her name was Elaine. Elaine, can I talk to you, please? Johnny, I'm very busy. I says, I really need to talk to you about something. Okay, come on in. So I said, Elaine, I said, I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm taking a new job. She goes, what? She says, we spoke for 3 hours at length that you were going to stay here and help me revamp this. I says, yeah, but you know what? I've never worked in the city. I hate the ride. I hate walking in the subway. I hate walking in the hot street. I don't like it. I'm not doing it. So she was pissed. She was pissed. I got a call from the guy. He cursed me out. He said, you gave me a bad name, this and that, about taking that job. So, not that I cared. I ended up staying at that company, Transamerica, for about 15 years. Learned a lot there at the company. But anyway, I had to get off on this tangent. We were talking about the train, because I hated taking the train. But then I loved it when I worked for Sony Music. Later on, 30 years later, going down to the city to work for Sony Music. Sony, it was at the Bertelsmann building, which was down in Times Square. That was great to work down there. So I don't know, things change, as I babble on. Let us continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, and let's move to the year 1946 now with a flip side from last week. Featured the A-side of this 78 by the Ink Spots, their 48th release, their 48th of 108 releases on the Decca label. It was called I'm Gonna Turn Off the Teardrops. But let's give a listen to the flip side before we file it back down in the No Humidity basement. The song co-written by the lead singer. His name is Bill Kenny. This is from January of 46. The Ink Spots on the Decca label. It's called The Sweetest Dream. The Ink Spots.
The sweetest dream began in my heart when I first met you. I held your hand, and that was the start of a dream for two. The bluest eyes had never been seen, the sweetest voice never heard, till I looked in your eyes and heard you speak one word. The sweetest lips are those I caressed when I held you tight. The sweetest words no one had confessed, as you did last night when I heard you softly whisper, I love you, my darling. The sweetest dream came true.
The sweetest lips, honey child, are those I caressed when I held you tight. And the sweetest words no one had ever confessed the way you did last night.
When I heard you softly whisper, I love you, my darling. The sweetest dream came true.
As January 1946 release there for the Ink Spots, Bill Kenny and the Ink Spots. That's their 48th release on the Decca record label. The Sweetest Dream is the name of the tune. Johnny G here on a Thursday afternoon. Thank you all for being here. So I apologize for being late. Maybe some things are worth waiting for. I don't know. But again, to hear these cool 78s. Somebody asked me, Lionel asked me about the turntables here. I really have no complaints about the turntables. I loved my Newmarks. I had the Newmarks. I don't know which one, but they lasted me a long, long time because I've been doing the show since 2005, they started going bad on me, probably because I never put covers on them. And that was probably the problem. But I bet you if I have them serviced, I don't know if anybody does servicing on the Newmarks, but they were it was really a great turntable, even for 78s and 45s and LPs. These are okay. I think, well, better than okay. But I had my, it's, you know what it is? It's the shell head that I had wired for mono. So I had somebody do this for me. KAB Electronics did it for me. He wrapped copper cable around the nodules in the shell head there. So to get me a kind of like a mono sound, excuse me. And so therefore, everybody that comes here to the studios, just the quality is, I mean, I hear it all the time. So I can't tell, but you hear it on the airwaves out there, and I guess it sounds okay, or better, so you can tell me. I don't know, I've never adjusted these settings here on the mixer, although I'm looking at other mixers, maybe with a dedicated line for my guests that come here to have another microphone, so because it's connected to me, and I have a louder voice than some of the people that speak here on the program. So anyway, but something for the future. Let us continue here. And we just heard the Ink Spots. Let's move into 1947 now for the Charioteers. And as I say, I could feature a Charioteers tune along with an Ink Spots tune and others also almost every 78 show. And they had 55 releases spanning two affiliated labels, Columbia and OK Records. This was the group's 48th release. It's a song taken from the Ziegfeld Follies of 1938, a tune written by Ira Gershwin and Verna Duke. And this features the great Billy Williams on lead with the orchestra under direction of Mitchell Ayers. This is from November of 47, the Charioteers on Columbia. It's called I Can't Get Started.
I've flown around the world revolutions in Spain. Oh, the North Pole I've charted, but can't get started with you.
Can't get started on our romance.
Around a golf course I'm under par, and all the movies want me to star. I've got a house, a showplace, but I can't get no place with you.
You're so supreme. Lyrics I write of you scheme, just for a sight of you dream, both day and night of you.
And what good does it do in 1929? I so short in merry old England. I'm presented at court, but you've got me downhearted, for I can't get started with you. You're so supreme.
Lyrics I write of you scheme, just for a sight of you dream,
Both day and night of you. And what good does it do?
I've sold my kisses at a bazaar, and after me they've named a cigar.
Oh, lately I've been outsmarted, for I can't get started with you.
That's the sound of the Charioteers here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That's November 1947 release. That's the great Billy Williams on lead. The Charioteers on Columbia Records. I Can't Get Started is the name of the tune. Now, Tony Barcia, you asked me about Sony Music. What happens was that when you get to when you get into your 40s and you're not yet in the, I guess, up in the corporate head honcho area yet, sometimes it's kind of frowned upon. So the problem with me was when I worked for a company called Transamerica Leasing for many years, it was a lot of fun to work there. So even though I got up to manager of reefer accounting, and I don't mean smoking reefer, I mean cargo containers, you know, the dry cargo containers that are stacked up along the docks or go on those big barges that transport. I worked for a company for many, many years there, worked up originally as a staff accountant, worked all the way up to a manager of reefer accounting and other areas. So then when new people come in and they didn't want people with MBAs anymore. They wanted CPAs. So I said to them, what do you want a CPA for? What does the CPA know that I don't know? So, and I've been doing this. I have an MBA in finance from Pace University. I had an undergrad in the CPA prep. So I said to them, all right, Kevin, you want to bring new people in here? That's fine. I said, but I will tell you, everybody that worked for me has moved up the ladder because I was a good teacher and I was proud of that. So they fired me. Of course, I lost out because the company was then sold. They sent me out to California to do due diligence. Okay, due diligence. I had to look at, they were buying a company called Transocean Lines. and they needed somebody to look at. I had to look at their paperwork and see if it was okay, and I met the people there, and they had this big party and whatnot. I says it was fine. It was fun going out to California. I was looking for 45s. I rented a car. I went across the Golden Gate Bridge. I went to Walk Creek. I met some people that used to work for the company. There were other competitors out there. But then you lose your job, and you're looking for another job. And I was older, so it's difficult. I was lucky to become an accounting controller. I ended up being accounting controller for a construction company that worked with the city. And but then I went from leasing to percentage of completion, which is fine, but that's not always a clean business. So that was a business that went bankrupt. And I was in with executives, okay? So then the company was being looked at for fraudulent. I says, don't come to me about fraudulent stuff, because I didn't do any fraudulent stuff. Well, we need you to sign this information. I says, I'm not signing nothing. I says, I've been in this job for 6 months, and all the stuff that I've seen, I'm not signing anything here for this. Well, we don't need him. We'll get the other person. Other person for what? Well, you're insured. I wasn't insured. They could have come after my record collection if I signed that piece of paper, and I did not sign it because they said they had insurance for their executives there that were working for the company, but they did not. And but anyway, I got their new they hired a CFO, this young kid. I went for this job to be the CFO of that company, and I interviewed, and I was there for 8 years, I think, 8 or 9 years, whatever. And they didn't give it to me; they gave it to this young kid, and I was like, this person just walking around here, you're giving him this job? So he comes to my office, and I was like in a fishbowl office. I had about 20 people that reported to me. So he comes in and he says, "Hi, Johnny G. My name is so-and-so, and I'm glad to meet you, and I need a good teacher like you." Well, that did not sit well with me. I mean, you're telling me that I have to teach you the job? No way. So he was calling meetings and whatnot. I didn't go to the meetings. I said, no way am I going. So he was going over me and contacting my people. They were coming in to complain to me. I went to the president and I complained, and I said, look, this new guy you have, I don't mind working with him, but he is a complete idiot. He is an idiot here. He doesn't know how to deal with the people. He doesn't know, and his talking and whatnot, he's condescending, and my staff is going to leave. And so he goes, I went to the president. I hopped over 2 levels, which was not a good thing to do. So the president says he's going to take care of it. I find out they fired him the next day when I did that. So the person that originally hired him came into me and he said, well, we had to do this. He was a little green, so you could interview for the job again. But what happened was the president, who was my protector, not that I dealt with him all the time, but he was my protector, so I was there, and it was business as usual. I learned a lot about bankruptcy and Chapter 11 and all that. So when they fired him, they didn't fire me yet, but they fired my assistant controller, and they fired my top senior accountant, and then they call me in on the day that they're going to announce they're moving to Long Island, which I wasn't going anyway, and they said, you lost your job. So I said, that's fine. And they said, look, would you like to... And they gave it to somebody beneath me. That was intentional, which again pissed me off. Okay? It did piss me off all these years later, if you guys are watching me. So it turns out that they asked me to stay another 2 weeks to help the guy. I said, no way. I says, you're going to ask me to stay for 2 weeks? Well, you're going to have to pay me like triple time to teach him, because I'm not doing it. So I left, And it was fine. I ended up getting a job with Resources Global Professional. They liked my background. I was older then, so I had a lot of experience. So they said, John, you're really good with teaching accounting to younger people and with your experience. So I had a lot of fun working with Resources, which eventually got me the job doing corporate tax returns for a major utility company in New Jersey. And I was there till my retirement, which was in 2022, I think it was, that I retired. But I thought I'd be able now to be able to sit back and buy more 45s and 78s and play them here on the program. So there you go. Now you have a history of what I did. So anyway, let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We just heard from the Charioteers on our After Christmas show here. Hope everybody had a great Christmas. And those of you celebrating Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah to you. We are in the year 1947. Let's head to... We heard from the Delta Rhythm Boys early in the program, and I have another Delta Rhythm Boys 78 to feature. After Decca, they signed with RCA Records, and that was in 1947, and this was their fourth release for the RCA label, and it features Lee Gaines. He's the bass, he's the lead singer. This is with Frank... I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me, folks. I'm sorry. I don't know what. Maybe I'm getting a cold. That's with Frank Comstock and his orchestra. This was recorded in Hollywood, California on June 29th of 1947. It was released in September of 1947. These are the Delta Rhythm Boys. The tune is called I'm in Love with a Gal Who's in Love with a Guy Who Looks Like Me, the Delta Rhythm Boys.
Hey Baba, 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 ra-da-doo-da. I'm in love with a gal who's in love with a guy who looks like me but ain't. Brother, life's no bubble when you're playing second fiddle to your double. Every time she sees me, she heaves a mighty sigh. But it's not me she's sighing for, it's the other guy. Got my health, got some wealth, but I'm nowhere at all, and this is my complaint. I'm in love with a gal who's in love with a guy who looks like me but ain't. Like me but ain't. Brother, life's no bubble when you're playing second fiddle to your double. Every time she sees me, she heaves a mighty sigh. But it's not me she's sighing for, it's the other guy. Got my health, wealth, but I'm nowhere at all, and this is my complaint. I'm in love with a gal who's in love with a guy who looks like me but ain't. Of course I'm much better looking than that other guy, but still it's a drag, man. 'Cause he looks like me but ain't.
There you go with the sound of the Delta Rhythm Boys as the sun is hitting Johnny G in the eye here. Delta Rhythm Boys there from September of 1947. I'm in love with a gal who's in love with a guy. I think. Hold on a second. Let me make sure I get it right because it's a long title here. It says, I'm in love with a guy. I'm in love with a gal who's in love with a guy who looks like me but ain't. That's the full title. That is a long title. The DJs didn't say that on the radio. I'm pretty sure they didn't do that. But anyway, Johnny G here on a Thursday as we continue here on the Vinyltreasure show. And I have one more from the year 1947. Now, this gal from Atlanta, Georgia, and she was born August 11th of 1924. Her real name, Annie L. Page, and she would relocate to New Orleans, Louisiana, and became associated with Paul Gayton and his trio. And she was the vocalist for Paul Gayton, and she would have a hit with her first release on Sid Nathan's Deluxe record label in the summer of 1947 with her version of Since I Fell for You. And this was the follow-up, a tune written by Victor Young, Bing Crosby, and Ned Washington. This was recorded at the J&M Studios in New Orleans, Louisiana. Now, the Paul Gayton trio included Jack Scott, he was a guitarist, George Pryor on bass, and Robert Green on the drums. And, of course, Paul Gayton, he was the leader. He was on piano. And this song released 3 times. First in September of 47, came out on Deluxe 1106. Then it came out on Deluxe 3106, and I have it the third way, Deluxe 3322, which I think came out in September. I think it came out in 1952 originally, September 52 release. This is a promo. Originally came out as Ghost of a Chance, but then, of course, they put the full title here, I Don't Stand a Ghost of a Chance with You. Her name is Annie Laurie. Annie Laurie on Deluxe from September 1947 originally with I Don't Stand a Ghost of a Chance with You.
I need your love so badly. I love you oh so madly. But I don't stand a ghost of a chance with you. I thought at last I'd found you another love round you, but I don't stand a ghost of a chance with you. Now if you surrender just for a tender kiss or two,
go. That's a single artist there, R&B version of I Don't Stand a Ghost of a Chance, September 1947, Annie Laurie. Early Annie Laurie on Deluxe Records, I Don't Stand a Ghost of a Chance. She's got some groups later on in the mid-1950s on Deluxe Records too, because some of her releases at that time period with vocal groups. Johnny G here on a Thursday. Let's continue here. One more in the year 1947, and it's by the Ravens, and this was their first release on Albert Green's national record label, and it's a standard that dates back to 1933, written by Al Dubin and Joe Burke. This was popularized by Glenn Gray, I think, and the Casloma Orchestra. This version released in April of 1947. It features the bass lead of Jimmy Ricks. Let's go to April 47 here. The Ravens on National. Their rendition of the tune For You.
Do 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 ba 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 ba.
Baby, I will get the stars out of the blue for you, oh, for you. I'd make a string of pearls out of the dew for you, only for you, baby.
Over the highway and over the street,
Over the street,
and garments of clover I'll lay right at your feet.
and there's nothing in the world I wouldn't do for you, baby, just for you.
For there's nothing in this world I wouldn't do
No, no,
just for you,
for you, pretty mama.
just for you.
Yes, yes,
I would make a string of pearls out of the dew
for who,
just for you,
for you alone.
just for you.
Just for you, I made the pearls, and girl, oh, how your head would twirl.
I would gather stars out of the blue for you, baby, for you. I would make a string of pearls out of the dew for you, baby, for you. Over the highway and over the street,
Carpets of clover,
I will lay right at your feet. And there's nothing in the world I wouldn't do
for you, for you, for you, baby, for you. Well, I live for you, oh, baby, for you.
for you.
There you go. That's the sound of the Ravens there. You know, some of the Nationals with that recycled vinyl, they're rough players. They really are rough. Although that I had 2 copies of this, and this is the better one. For some reason, it's just not as grainy, which is pretty good, I guess. We'll call it that. But those are the Ravens. Jimmy Ricks and the Ravens, April 1947 on the national label. Their rendition of the tune For You. I remember Ricky Nelson did so many people recorded that, by the way. But I just remember hearing Ricky Nelson's version, back in 1964 or whatever. Johnny G losing his mind here. Let's move to the year 1948 now. With this singer from Gourdon, Arkansas, if I said it right, born August 8th of 1920, made his debut as a vocalist with Jay McShann and his orchestra. That was back in 1945 on the Philco and the Mercury record labels. Now, he recorded on many different labels during his career, and his early releases were on, I think, Supreme. I think I have something by him on Supreme, a Downbeat, and this label, the Bahari Brothers Modern label. And this is the B-side. The A-side is an instrumental featuring Hootie J. McShann and his orchestra called Slow Low. But this is a flip side. It's a vocal. His name is Jimmy Witherspoon. Jimmy Witherspoon from November of 1948 on the Modern record label. It's called Feeling So Sad. Jimmy Witherspoon.
I got up this morning, yes, and I looked around. I couldn't find my baby. She's done left this town. That's why I'm feeling so sad. Just lost the best gal that I ever had. I love my baby. That's why I'm feeling blue. Just feel like walking around. Those blues will haunt me when the evening sun goes down. Yes, I went down to the river. Yes, and I looked far and wide. I couldn't find my baby. She's way on the other side.
Yeah, Jimmy Witherspoon there with the, they're called Hootie. Well, I don't know why. Maybe that's a nickname for Jay McShann. Hootie J. McShann and his orchestra there. That's a November 1948 release there. That's actually the B-side. Feeling So Bad is the name of the tune. It actually has the price of the 78 on here. So will you pay 79 cents for this 78? And I think Spence, it was, you know, Spence, I really do miss Spence Wooten. I will tell you why. Because he would bring me records. Not only did he bring me a vocal group records, he was bringing me over 78s also. And I don't know where he was getting them from a number of different places. So he would say to me, you know, Johnny, it's always nice to own these records, and they're not that expensive. And he was correct. They were cheaply priced, I will have to say. So I have to thank Spence for that, for bringing me these records, because this was supplied by him, and some of the records today from Spence. So I have to thank Spence for that. I wish I could, but unfortunately he is no longer with us. But I do miss Spence Wooten. As we continue here on the Vinyl Treasures Show, and let's move into wait a minute, I messed up here. I'm all the way down here on the page. That's not right. We are in the year 1949 now, and it's a flip side from the last 78 show. I played the second release on Capitol by the Jubilaires, their version of St. Louis Blues. Let's give a listen to the flip side. This is their second of 7 on the Capitol label from September 1949. The Jubilaires, this is called It Ain't What You Want That Does You Good. Jesus. It's What You Get. Again, the title gets cut off here. Oh, well, here we go. The Jubilaires, It Ain't What You Want That Does You Good. It's What You Get. These are the Jubilaires on the Capitol label.
I was a kid between 2 and 3. My old grandpappy took me on his knee. He read way back and popped up on his pipe. Said, listen, son, if you want to have fun, listen to the facts of life. Now it ain't what you want that does you good, it's what you get, that's the truth, you bet. No, it ain't what you want that does you good, my little pet. You may want an ocean liner, I want to be the king of China. But it ain't what you want that does you good, it's just what you get, just what you get. Now when it's raining, the folks all start to whine, because everybody wants the sun to come right out and shine. I'm here to tell you about the gospel truth, you bet, that it ain't what you want that does you good, it's just what you get. Remember, young fella, as you travel down the road and you meet a little chick that's mellow, remember, everything that shines ain't gold. Things that look good to you ain't gotta be good for you. But if it looks good to you and it ain't good for you, cut out. Boy, don't you be no fool. I'm here to tell you, and I ain't been wrong yet, that it ain't what you want that does you good, it's just what you get, just what you get. Now some folks I know get things they can't afford, but when the deal goes down, they be running around like a hobo on the road. I'm here to help ya, and I ain't been wrong yet. No, it ain't what you want that does you good, son, it's just what you get. Well, it ain't what you want, it's the thing that you get, young fellow. No, it ain't what you eat that makes you fat and mellow. You may want $1 million and live like a Maharaja, but it ain't what you want, it's the thing that you get that does you good.
There you go, September 1949 release there for the Jubilaires. The Jubilaires on the Capitol record label. It ain't what you want that does you good, it's what you get. And look what you get here on a Thursday afternoon, all these cool 78s out of Johnny G's collection, and a work history, no less. And that's not even half the story here as we continue here for a Thursday afternoon. And we are in the year 1949. The singer, born in Columbus, Ohio, first sang gospel, but in 1949 he would sign with Fred Mendelssohn's Regal Records, which was out of Linden, New Jersey. He would have 7 releases for the Regal label. Let's give a listen to his second. This tune written by band leader Paul Gayton, who he met early in his career when he was in New Orleans, employed at the Dewdrop Inn as a singer. And so he continued to deal with Paul Gayton, and he wrote this tune for him. October 1949. His name, Larry Darnell. Larry Darnell on the Regal label. It's called For You, My Love. Larry Darnell.
For you, my love, I'd do most anything. For you, my love, I'd do most anything. ocean blue. For you, my love, I'd swim the ocean blue. There's nothing in this world that I wouldn't do for you. Let's go out tonight and celebrate. I got a party planned for you that just won't wait for you, my love. I'd do most anything. I love you, baby, and I hope you feel the same. Changed my drink to milk and cream. I said goodbye to all the mob. I even went out and got a job for you, my love. I'd do most anything. I love you, baby, and I hope you feel the same.
Yeah, Larry Darnell there. Larry Darnell on the Regal record label, October 1949 release for You, My Love is the name of the tune. Let's move into 1950, and we stay with a twin spin on the Regal label, Fred Mendelssohn's Regal record label. This group of brothers, they were originally Everett Lander, Melvin Russell, and Wallace Coleman, recording either as the Coleman Brothers or the Colemans on a number of different labels during their career. I think first for Decca, I think back in 1944. They also recorded for the Manor record label. They even had their own label, and they were pretty good entrepreneurs. They had their hands in a lot of different things. They owned the Coleman record label. They were from Newark, New Jersey. They broadened out, even owning a hotel called the Coleman Hotel in Newark, New Jersey. But they had 3 releases on the Regal label. This was their first. As we move into 1950, September 1950 release, the Colemans on Regal Records. It's called You Know I Love You, Baby, the Colemans.
You know I love you, baby, with all my heart and soul. I love my baby. You know I love you, baby, with all my heart and soul. Every time you're near me, you make my blood run cold. Oh, won't you hold me, baby? Never, never let me go. Yes, please hold me, baby. Never, never let me go. You just take me in your arms, baby, I love you so. I love my baby, my pretty baby. Everything I have is yours. My love, you know, is true. I want the world to know that all my love belongs to you. Yes, I love you, baby, with all my heart and soul. So take me in your arms because I love you so. You know I love you, baby, with all my heart and soul. I love my baby. You know I love you, baby, with all my heart and soul. I love my baby. You just take me in your arms, baby, I love you so. I love my baby, baby.
There you go, the sound of the Colemans. The Colemans, September 1950 release. It's on the Regal record label. That's their first of 3 on Regal Records. You Know I Love You, Baby is the name of the tune. We are in the year 1950 here. Let's give a listen to this singer, drummer, and band leader born in Waynewood, Oklahoma. He would relocate to Los Angeles, California in 1933 to form his own band, owned his own label too. It was called Jukebox Records, and he would meet up with up-and-coming record label owner Art Roop, who agreed to purchase all his masters, and then he would change the name of the label from Jukebox to Specialty. His name was Roy Milton and his Solid Senders, and this is a song he co-wrote. Interesting, when Spence sold me this record, somebody put on the sleeve here, and I don't know, last song of the session for good blues guitarist Johnny Rogers. I don't know if it's this side or the other side, but it is on, somebody wrote this on this 78 sleeves. I don't know. It's from August of 1950. It's Roy Milton and his Solid Senders on Specialty. So do we have any drinkers out there? I know we had some last night at the Christmas party that I was at, or Christmas get-together with my family. But this song is called Bartender's Boogie, Roy Milton and his Solid Senders.
Whiskey makes you frisky, gin makes you sin, wine makes you nutty, but I'll try 'em all over again. Cognac keeps you peppy, rum makes you dumb. Beer is a mellow drink, but it'll keep you on the run. Whenever you want a drink or two, choose the drink that pleases you. Drink your mash, talk your trash, that is the right thing to do. Latch, champagne makes you happy, vodka keeps you thin, tequila makes you want to fight, but I'll try 'em all over again. Mash and talk your trash, that is the right thing to do. Latch, champagne makes you happy, vodka keeps you thin, tequila makes you want to fight, but I'll try 'em all over again.
So what did he say? He said that vodka keeps you thin? I don't know about that. I'm doing really well on the Weight Watchers here. I think I'm, even with the holiday thing, I think I'm down 47 pounds. My knees are so much better, I have to tell you that. There you go. That's Roy Milton and his Solid Senders, August 1950 release on the specialty record label. Bartender's Boogie is the name of the tune. Johnny G is your Thursday afternoon disc jockey. Thank you all for being here. If you have a request, you can send it to me at vinyltreasures@aol.com. I can't promise you with the 78 show that I'll always find a Count Basie 78, but I'm looking for Bust the Bass. I am. And also, I do a soul show here on Wednesday evenings. We didn't do it last Christmas Day, as I was with the family. I didn't get home till like after it was, almost 11 o'clock, so I couldn't do the show. Charlene also had people at the house, so it was kind of impossible to do it, but I will be back next Wednesday. We'll be doing the show this Saturday night, and I'll be doing it on New Year's Day night. I will be playing Soul 45s out of my collection. But let us continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's move into 1951. We head to Baltimore, Maryland for this group, and they had 8 releases on Herman Lubinsky's Savoy record label out of Newark, New Jersey. This was their 4th, and this is a cover tune. This song was first done by the Four Aces on the Victoria label. I think it came out about the same time that this group put this one out. It features Larry Harrison on lead. We'll send this one out to listener Joe Shacatano because I know he likes this song. September 51, the Four Buddies on Savoy Records. The song is called Sin, parentheses. It's No Sin. This is for Joe.
Take away the breath of flowers, it would surely be a sin. Take the rain from April showers, it's a sin. Take away the violins, dear, from a lovely symphony, and the music deep within would cease to be. Is it a sin to love you so, to hold you close and know you are leaving, though you take away my heart, dear, still the beating there within, I'll keep loving you forever, for it no sin.
There you go, September 1951, release there for the Four Buddies. Four Buddies on Savoy. That's Larry Harrison on lead. Sin, parentheses. It's No Sin, No It's Not, their fourth release on the Savoy record label. Love to feature this next gal here on the program. She was born in Newport News, Virginia, April 25th of 2017. Now here's one of the hundreds of releases, I guess we can call it, she had on the Decca record label. It's a song written by Duke Ellington. Now she recorded this on May 24th of 1951 here in New York City. Now, it included Everett Barksdale on guitar, Sandy Block on string bass, Jimmy Crawford on drums, and Hank Jones on piano. This is directed by Cy Oliver. And I think the Ray Charles Singers are backing her up on this. I'm not exactly sure, but it's from August of 51 for Miss Ella Fitzgerald. Ella Fitzgerald on the Decca label. The song is called Love You Madly.
Love you madly, right or wrong, sounds like the lyric of a song. But since it's so, I thought you ought to know I love you madly. Better fish are in the sea is not the theory for me. And that's for sure, just like I said before, I love you madly. If you could see the happy you and me I dream about so proudly. You know the breath of spring that makes me sing my love song so loudly. Good things come to those who wait, so just relax and wait for fate to let me see the day you'll say to me, I love you madly.
Love you madly, right or wrong.
Sound like the lyric of a song. Because it's so, I thought you ought to know I love you
madly. Good things come to those who wait.
Is not the theory for me. And that's for sure, just like I said before, I love you
madly.
Baba didn't da ba ba pee you do did da do ba be did be did do 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 up if you could see the happy you and me I dream about so proudly. You know the breath of spring that makes me sing my love song so loudly.
Good things come to those who wait.
So just relax and wait for fate to let me see the day you say to me, I love you
madly.
Better latch on, mad, one time, gotta get on, bad, because I love you madly.
There you go, August 1951 release there for Ella Fitzgerald, and I don't know who they are backing her up on that. That's on the Decca record label. Love You Madly is the name of the tune. Didn't Charlie and did I Love You Madly on the Herald label? Oh gosh, the duet that I'm Johnny G drawing a blank here. We are in the year 1951. And here is a great combination. Esther Mae Jones, a.k.a. Little Esther, and the Dominoes. She's in a duet with Clyde McPhatter on this as we go to Sid Nathan's Gold Top Federal label. This is from July of 1951. Little Esther and the Dominoes. It's on Federal Records. I have this on a 45. It's hard to find on a 45. I don't know how easy it is or not to find it on a 78, but I bet you it sounds better. It's Little Esther and Clyde McPhatter with the Dominoes. It's called Heart to Heart. Whoops.
Heart to heart, we can face the world together. Whether fast or harm weather, won't you say we'll never part?
Soul to soul, we can laugh at hope and trouble. Yes, we'll get our sunshine double if we always stay heart to heart. Others say you will leave me.
Believe me, it's not true.
That's nice, 'cause you know it would grieve me, yes, grieve me.
And then my life would not be through.
Love to love, we could mow the highest mountain.
Make our joy spring like a fountain.
If we always stay heart to heart.
Father said you will leave me, sweetheart, say it right true. 'Cause you know it would grieve me, and then my life will be through.
We could move the highest mountain.
Make our joy spring like a fountain.
If we'll always stay heart to heart.
Yeah, that's a great combination there. Little Esther and the Dominoes there with Clyde McPhatter on the lead, with singing with her. July 1951 on Sid Nathan's Federal record label. Heart to Heart is the name of the tune. Now, Federal would re-release that in 1958. A much more affordable disc, I guess, basically. But anyway, Johnny G here on a Thursday. I hope you like what you're hearing on the 78s. We play it by year here, and it's always fun to get together on a Thursday afternoon. I don't do this every week. We do it every other week, so I'll be back in a couple of weeks. That would be going to be in January. I can't believe we're almost done with the year as we head into the new year here. So I thank you all for being supportive of the Vinyl Treasure Show and for all your correspondence and all your fine words about the program, all your posts on YouTube, etc. I read them all. I do. So if you have if you have a request, you can send it to me at vinyltreasures@aol.com. Let's continue here. We are in the year 1951. Let's go back to Fred Mendelssohn's Regal Records, as Savannah Churchill and the Striders also recorded for the label. Now, prior to this, the Striders backed her up on releases, I think, on Arco and also on RCA. And this is odd, though, for this specific release because they're not credited on the record and they do the majority of the song. So I don't understand. This is their second release on the Regal label, and she's featured in the beginning. That is, Savannah Churchill is, I should say, and then the group comes in. This is from February 1951, Savannah Churchill and the Uncredited Striders on Regal Records. It's called, again, another long title here. The Wedding Bells Are Breaking Up That Old Gang of Mine. Savannah Churchill and the Striders.
What a lonely town this is for me. Things are not just what they used to be. I see all my pals strolling with their gals. They don't seem to find much time for me.
Not a soul down on the corner, that's a pretty certain thing. Those wedding bells are breaking up that old gang of mine. All the boys are singing love songs, they forgot sweet Adeline. Those wedding bells are breaking up that old gang of mine. There goes Jack, and there goes Jill, strolling down Lover Lane. Now and then we'll meet again, but I get that lonesome feeling when I hear those church bells chime. Those wedding bells are breaking up that old gang of mine.
Now the soul down on the corner, that's pretty certain. Those wedding bells are breaking up that old gang of mine. All the boys are singing love songs, they forgot sweet Adeline. Those wedding bells are breaking up that old gang of mine.
There goes Jack, there goes Jill, strolling down Lover's Lane. Now and then we'll meet again.
Things don't seem the same.
I get that lonesome feeling
when
I hear those
church bells chime.
Those wedding bells are breaking up that old gang of mine. Those wedding bells are breaking up that old gang of mine.
There you go. That's Savannah Churchill there with the Striders, February 1951. It's on the Regal record label, although the Striders don't get mentioned on there. A song entitled The Wedding Bells Are Breaking Up That Old Gang of Mine is the name of the tune. Johnny G here on a Thursday. Let us continue here. We are in the year 1951 here, by this trumpeter, singer, and band leader born October 16th of 1916 in Wheatley, Texas, worked with Illinois Jacquet, or many others, Arnett Cobb also, Charles Brown, Marvin Johnson, Milton Larkins, Eddie Vinson, Dinah Washington, and so many others. Now, he would sign with Eddie and Lito Messner's Aladdin Records in 1950. This was his 8th release on the Aladdin record label. It's a song he wrote. His name, Calvin Boze, and his All-Stars. And he is singing about a car. So anybody out there, can you guess which car he's singing about? This is from December of 1951. Calvin Boze and his All-Stars on Aladdin Records. The song is called Fish Tail.
Cadillac, baby, fishtail, Coupe de Ville, fishtail, done gone crazy, falling in love with an automobile. Fishtail, Goodbye, honey, fishtail. Oh, what a deal. Fishtail, fishtail. You spent my money blowing your top for an automobile. We had a little date in my Rocket 8 last night about 8:45. Oh, what a pity. She left in a kitty with the fishtail light sticking up behind. Fishtail, fishtail, Fleetwood baby, fishtail. Hear my plea, I'm gonna buy me a fishtail Cadillac maybe. Baby, come running back home to me. Rocket 8 last night about 8:45. Oh, what a pity. She left in a kitty with the fishtail light sticking up behind. Fishtail, fishtail, Fleetwood baby, fishtail. Hear my plea, I'm gonna buy me a fishtail Cadillac maybe. Baby, come running back home to me. Fishtail, fishtail, Cadillac baby, fishtail. Hear my plea, fishtail, 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 fishtail.
Well, we know he's talking about a Cadillac there. Well, listen, what were the my Aunt Mary, she when my grandfather passed away, he had a 1959 Buick. I think it was are the Bel Airs Buick or are they Chevrolets? I forget, but it was a Buick. It was a green Buick. It looked like it had fishtails on it, but she ended up buying she got rid of it in 1971. She bought a 1971 Riviera. You know, the one that has that funny back. In the back, it looks weird. The back window is kind of weird. It comes to like a point. I guess I don't know. It was a really heavy car. It was a 2-door, and it had these big doors. They weighed a ton. Probably the safest thing you can drive at the time. Now these cars are making is like plastic. But anyway, Johnny G digresses. We move into 1952. Here's a flip side from the last 78 show. No, I'm sorry, it's not. This is an old copy. Let's move into 1952 now for Billy Ward and the Dominoes. They return. This is their 10th release on Sid Nathan's Federal record label. And this was a number 4 R&B hit for the group. Features the bass lead of David McNeil. Now, Bill Brown was the bass of the group, but he left with Charles White to form the Checkers. But this new bass here, David McNeil, this is from December of 52. Billy Ward and his Dominoes on Federal Records. It's called Pedal. Here we are talking about the cars again. Pedal Pushin' Papa. It's the Dominoes.
Pushing, Papa. Any way you like, I'll ride your bike if you'll only let me try. Just tell me when and I'll begin. A bell pushing Papa am I. You can ride the bar to yonder star. We'll go sailing through the sky. Like Jack and Jill, we'll get a thrill. A bell pushing Papa am I. I'll straddle that saddle like Audrey. I'll bounce around like Fred Astaire. And when the trip is over, you'll know that I was there. So if you decide you want to ride, I will gladly be your guide. Just ask for Dan, the lover man. A bell pushing papa am I.
A pedal pushing papa is he. A pedal pushing papa is he.
Yes, me. I'll rock your soul and make you roll.
Because a pedal pushing papa is he.
Tell the ladies more about me, man.
A pedal pushing papa
Yeah,
is
that's
he.
right. Put 'em wide.
A pedal pushing papa is he.
Just tell me when and I'll begin.
Because a pedal pushing papa is he.
Yes, I'll style that salad like Audrey. I'll bounce around like Fred Astaire. And when the trip is over, you'll know that I was there. So if you decide you want to ride, I will gladly be your guide. Just as for Dan, the lover man, a pedal pushing papa am I, oh yes.
A pedal pushing papa am I.
There you go, Billy Ward and his Dominoes from December 1952. That's their 10th release on Sid Nathan's Federal record label. Pedal Pushin' Papa is the name of the tune. That's David McNeil on lead. The flip side there, I think Chris Reed mentioned it, a great tune also called The Bells on that side. Johnny G here on a Thursday afternoon. Thank you all for being here. It's our All 78 show. We do this every couple of weeks. I'll be back Saturday night for the 50s and early 60s edition, so get your requests in vinyltreasures at AOL.com. And we are in the year 1952. Want to let you know in advance, you listeners, that this 78 isn't in the greatest condition. It's pretty rough. So I had two choices. Probably should have found my cracked copy of this, because I do have a cracked copy of this that I think John Pagnotta gave me that, a 78, I think it was. And I didn't dare clean it, but I tried to clean this one here, but it still plays rough. It might, that cracked one might be a little bit better, but it's an ultra rare 45. Forget about finding this record on a 45. It's hard also on a 78. Which I do not have a 45, that is a fact. But the group included Sammy Brown, William Parker, James Ricks, and Alvin Van Landingham. Collectively, the group was known as the Encores, and this was their only release. It came out on Leonard Chess's Checker record label. Again, please excuse the condition of this. It gets kind of like a little bit better, but it doesn't start off well. This is from November of 1952. The Encores on Checker Records. It's called When I Look at You. The Encores.
When I look at you, you thrill me through and through. 'Cause I don't care who knows, baby, I'm yours. When I look at you,
I'm dreaming now. Don't worry about me. I have thought for myself when I look at you. You thrill me through and through. 'Cause I don't get along. Baby,
So there you go, folks. It was in the greatest shape there. A couple spots really bad. But I should get that cracked copy and see what I can do with that cracked copy here. I got 2 cracked records here I need to play. That's one of them. There you go, November 1952, Rare 78 there. At 45, Forget It. The Encores on the Checker label. When I Look at You is the name of the tune. Let's backtrack here, 1952 here. I think it was Bill Schmaltz and Chris Reed mentioned the flip side of this 78 we just heard by Billy Ward and the Dominoes, Pedal Pushin' Mama from December 52. So let's do an instant request here on the 78 show for Bill and Chris, and it features Clyde McFadder on lead. These are the Dominoes on Federal with a song called The Bells. We'll send it out to Chris Reed and Bill Schmaltz in our YouTube chat room.
Brothers and sisters, we are gathered here.
There are 4 black horses with eyes of flaming red. There are roses tied with ribbons all around my baby's head. The bells are ringing, and they say I ought to go and see. Well, I know why they're ringing. They're ringing out for me. Baby, please forgive me. I know I've caused you pain. I replaced your tears with diamonds just to see your face again. The bells are ringing, and they say I ought to go and see. Yes, I know why they're ringing. They're ringing out for me.
Ashes to ashes and dust to dust.
Yeah, that's by request for Bill Schmaltz and Chris Reed in our YouTube chat room. That's Billy Ward and his Dominoes. That's Clyde McFadder with the sobbing there from December of 1952 on Sid Nathan's Federal record label. The Bells, the name of the tune. There you go. And Lenny, there's your bells on that song there. Let's stay with the Sid Nathan's label, this time King Records, as we move into the year 1953 with this release. Someone by the name of Jimmy Rushing. He was born in August 26th of 1901 in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Best known as the featured vocalist of the Count Basie Orchestra. There you go, Busta Bass. He was the vocalist for the Count Basie Orchestra between 1935 and 1948, but he had some solo releases, recorded for some different labels, Excelsior, Gotham, OK, and he did 2 for Sid Nathan's King record label. Let's give a listen to his second. It's a song he co-wrote as we go to February of 53 for Jimmy Rushing on King. It's called She's Mine, She's Yours.
Don't tell me about a woman, 'cause I know just what she'll do. Don't tell me about a woman, 'cause I know just what she'll do. She's mine, she's yours, she's somebody else's too. Don't make no difference if she's wearing a wedding ring. Don't make no difference if she's wearing a wedding ring. She's mine, she's yours, that ring don't mean a thing. She says she's in love, but please don't believe it's true. She says she's in love, but please don't believe it's true. She's mine, she's yours, she's somebody else's too. Chin and rub you on your head. She'll pat you on the chin and rub you on your head. When she breaks your heart, you'll wish that she was dead. She'll hug and kiss you and tell you what to do. She'll hug and kiss you and tell you what to do. She's mine, she's yours, she's somebody else's too.
Johnny G getting caught here. That's because I had to text my mother to do something for Johnny G. Anyway, there you go. That is Jimmy Rushing there from February 1953, his second release on the King record label. She's Mine, She's Yours is the name of that tune. We are in the year 1953 now, and this is the debut single for this group out of Cincinnati, Ohio. This this was issued on a couple of different labels. First issued on Henry Stone's Rockin' label. Although he owned the label, it was pressed by Deluxe Records. He was at one time, Henry Stone, the I think the A&R guy for Sid Nathan's Deluxe Records. But I have it here. I'm featuring it on a 78 on the Rockin' record label. I do have this on a 45. Deluxe put this out, I think, as their first release, a Deluxe number 6000. But here is the this is on Rockin' number 516. I wonder if that was the first record on the label. I think it was. It's from July of 1953, and it features Otis Williams on lead. These are the Charms on Rockin'. It's called Heaven Only Knows the Charms. That's July 1953 release there for the Charms. Otis Williams on lead, the Charms. That's their debut single, issued on the Rockin' record label. You can also get it on Deluxe Records. Heaven Only Knows. Copyright Police came out on that record, which is amazing. It is amazing. Let's continue here. 1953, one more out of 53. As we go back to Baltimore, Maryland now for the sound of the Orioles. Now, this is the B-side to their 33rd release on Jerry Blaine's Jubilee record label. And the follow-up to their, I guess we can call it their biggest national hit, a song called Crying in the Chapel, was a tune called In the Mission of St. Augustine, which was also an R&B hit for the group, making it up to number 7 on the Billboard R&B chart. That was really their last national R&B hit. Now, the flip side that I'm featuring is a tune written by the same person who wrote Crying in the Chapel. His name was Artie Glenn, and the song was first recorded by his son, Darrell Glenn, on the Valley record label, and prior to the Orioles, of course, recording it. But his father also wrote this tune, which was the flip side of the follow-up, I guess. So let's give a listen to Sonny Till and the Orioles, September 1953. This is the B-side of In the Mission of St. Augustine, a song entitled Write and Tell Me Why, the Orioles on Jubilee.
Oh, oh, oh.
Tell me why you left me. Tell me, won't you please? Tell me what I did to you to make you up and leave. Now all I do is mope around, trying not to cry. Tell me, won't you tell me? Please write and tell me why. My days are so lonely. My nights are so blue, so blue, so blue, so blue. I'm here and I'm lonely. Darling, where are you? I didn't know your reason. You kept it in your heart. I thought that you were happy the way you played your part. I took your love for granted. Surely I was blind. Tell me, won't you tell me, and give me peace of mind.
Girl, girl, my days are so lonely. My nights are so blue. Well, I'm here and I'm lonely. So, my darling, where are you?
I did my best to please you. Why did you have to cry? I'm asking you to tell me. Please write and tell me why.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. It's the All 78 edition. We play the records by year. We are in the year 1953 for that one. That's the flip side of In the Mission of St. Augustine. That's Sonny Till and the Orioles, September 1953 release. Write and Tell Me Why is the name of the tune. So you can write Johnny G at vinyltreasures@aol.com. And also, if you're new to the program, just finding out about this show, please consider subscribing and give me a thumbs up if you like the sound of the 78s here on a Thursday afternoon as we prepare for New Year's coming up soon. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. In 1954, now we head out to Los Angeles, California for the sound of the Flares, although on this release, on the Bahari Brothers decided to change their name for this one. They changed it to the Chimes. And this group included Richard Berry, Thomas Pete Fox, Obadiah Jesse, and Beverly Thompson, and lead singer Cornell Gunther, who wrote this tune. We go to September of 1954. These are the Chimes, a.k.a. the Flares, on the Flare label. It's called Love Me, Love Me, Love Me.
I love you with all my heart. Please don't ever tell me that we'll have to part. I need you both night and day. Oh, my love, please show me, only show me the way. Oh, your lips are so tender, on me you're so very fine. Oh, put your arms around me, love me till the broad daylight.
Love me, love me, love me, love me, love me strong. Love me pretty baby, love me all night long. Put your arms around me, honey, hold me tight.
I'm squeezed with all your might.
around me.
Love me till the broad daylight. Oh, I love you. Ooh, real, real strong. Please don't you ever tell me that I'm wrong. Oh, love me with all your heart. Please don't ever tell me that we'll have to part. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh.
Well, there you go. There, the sound of the Chimes, a.k.a. the Flares, September 1954, release on the Bahari Brothers Flair Records. I think they might have been out of Culver City, California, if I'm not mistaken, the Flair label. Love Me, Love Me, Love Me is the name of the tune. As a copyright police, again, that's two songs that they came out of. And they came out now, this Artificial Intelligence, which is for the birds. They're going to come out on this next tune, too. We are in the year 1954 now. In September of 1954, disc jockey Alan Freed, relocated to New York City, was going strong with his program on 1010 Wins, was becoming one of the leading shows here on the East Coast. And that helped him secure a contract for a group he was managing at the time. Of course, that was the Moonglows. And it helped with his deal with Leonard Chess and his Chess label. They were going to record for Chess Records, and this was sometime in September of 1954. They went into the Chess studios to record. This is their first session. They recorded 5 songs. Shoe Doobie Doo, My Lovin' Baby was one. So All Alone was the other. Song called Tempting, which I think is the flip of this. A tune called Such a Feeling. They don't even know who's doing lead on that one. And this song, which became the group's first release for the Chess record label and a big, big hit for the group. I expect the copyright police to attack Johnny G on this tune. It features Bobby Lester on lead, but it now sounds oh so good on a 78. This one from October 54. Let's give a listen to the Moonglows on the Chess label and their first release on Chess. It's called Sincerely.
Bottle, 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 sincerely. Oh yes, sincerely, 'cause I love you so dearly. Please say you'll be mine. Sincerely. Oh, you know how I love you. I'll do anything for you. Please say you'll be mine. Oh, Lord, won't you tell me why I love that girl is so. She doesn't want me. Oh, I'll never, 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 never Oh, you know how I love you. I'll do anything for you. Please say you'll be mine. Oh, say you'll be mine.
It took them a while to come out, but they're out now. They are. The Copyright Police chasing Johnny G. Those are the great Moonglows there. Bobby Lister and the Moonglows, October 1954. On Leonard Chess's Chess record label with Sincerely is the name of the tune. Let us continue here. In 1954, for this gal from Chester, Pennsylvania, began her career in show business dancing with Bill Bojangles Robinson when she was just 3 years old. Then she became a vocalist in Lionel Hampton's orchestra, later relocating, though, to England. I think at the end of her career. She passed away in England, too, unfortunately. But she did have some solo efforts, first recording for RCA Records in December of 53. She would have two for the RCA subsidiary Groove label. Let's give a listen to her first. This tune written by Charles Calhoun from February 54. Her name is Bertice, I think it's Redding is how you pronounce that, versus Redding. And this is on a flexi disc. The best 78s to have is a flexi vinyl promo, because they don't break, number one, and they got great sound quality, number two. So you can get that a lot with the RCA records. I think there's some, I had a Joe Turner one on Supreme, and you can tell because they're much lighter. I have some Aladdins too that way. But actually, I hope Bill Old comes on early next year to do a special 78, an all flexi 78 show. That would be a kicker for Bill to do. So, Bill, you're always welcome here to do that show. But her name is Bertice Redding on Groove Records. It's called I Gotta Know.
Just what they mean. I gotta know. I gotta know. I gotta know why these boys all want to hold me so. Please don't leave me, mama dear. The boys keep a whispering in my ear. I'd be an angel if I could, but to say it's no fun in being good.
She's Gotta Know. That is Bertice Redding there, February 1954, on a Groove Flexi disc. They play the best, I have to tell you that. It's I Gotta Know. What I say? That was her that was her first of two on the Groove record label. And we are in the year 1954. Now, in the last 78 show, I played the debut single for this group out of Detroit, Michigan, on the legendary Fortune record label out of Detroit. Devorah Brown's Fortune Records featured the Diablos with their tune called Adios My Desert Love. Well, let's flip that 78 over. Give a listen to the 78. The 78s play phenomenal on the Fortune. If they're clean and not beat up, they sound really good like this one. Spence sold me this 78 many years ago. April 1954, the Diablos featuring Nolan Strong on Fortune Records. It's called An Old-Fashioned... Wait, I didn't change it. I Want an Old-Fashioned Girl.
Now, darling, you know I love you, and I think an awful lot of you. But before we do anything foolish, I must tell you, I want an old-fashioned girl. I want an old-fashioned girl. I want a girl like the one who married my dad, a sweet little girl who'll make my heart glad. I want an old-fashioned miss. She'll have an old-fashioned kiss. Sweet kisses for me alone. I'll be king on a throne with my old-fashioned girl. Now, darling, I don't know what it is. I can't explain this thing. It's just a feeling that's very deep inside. Something no one has ever been able to explain. You're just, well, you're not the one. There's nothing I can do. I'm very sorry. Well, to take up your time, it's just, well, goodbye, goodbye. I want an old-fashioned girl. I want an old-fashioned girl. I want a girl with a heart that's faithful and true. A sweet little girl, no other will do. I want an old-fashioned miss. She'll have an old-fashioned kiss. Sweet kisses for me alone. I'll be king on a throne with my old-fashioned girl.
April 1954 release there, the debut single for the Diablos. Nolan Strong on lead with the Diablos on the Fortune record label. I don't know if there's any more of them around anymore. I Want, that's in parentheses, an old-fashioned girl is the name of the tune. That's probably a diamond in the rough, I would say. Johnny G here on a Thursday afternoon, spinning these 78s out of my collection. Let's stay one more in the year 1954. Let's go to the Washington Heights section of New York City now for this next group. They had 3 releases on Bobby and Danny Robinson's Red Robin record label, and the group included Joe Brisbane, Burl Easton, Donald Razor, George Thorpe, and the lead singer Charles Sampson on this one, who co-wrote this tune. This is from May of 1954. Let's give a listen to the Velvets. The Velvets on Red Robin. Their tune is called I Cried.
I cried as
I cried for you. I cried, but you wasn't true to me. I lied, and you didn't hear my plea. I sighed, just to keep my love for you. For you.
There you go. That's the sound. That's the sound of the Velvets there. Let's see here. There's another Johnny G there in the chat room. That is May 1954. That's the sound of the Velvets there. The Velvets on the Red Robin record label. That's Charles Sampson on lead with a song entitled I Cried. That record also, I think, what was that? No, they didn't release that. Well, it says re-released on Pilgrim. I guess it was re-released on Pilgrim. Yeah, this record was, both sides of this record, re-released on Pilgrim in April of 1956. And I got here, this song also came out on Pilgrim in May of 58. So I don't know what was going on with Pilgrim Records at the time. There's another Johnny G in the chat room there. That is interesting. I know there was to be another, it was funny because I would be contacted by, I think, people in the UK that asked me, there was another Johnny G, I think on Rocket Radio, if I'm not mistaken. But no, I've been Johnny G, I think probably since I did my first show back in 1995 was the first time I did the show. I've been doing this one since 2015. I've had the Vinyl Treasure show since 1995, I'm pretty sure. But I've been a guest collector though. I did a number of shows with Dan Romanello on the R&B Review, also on Al Bernard's Moondog Matinee. I've done a number of those. I think the first time in 1999, and I was very shy to the microphone at the time, so I sounded like stiff. I'm not a professional at all. I'm an amateur. I'm not a professional. I'm maybe a professional record collector, but not a disc jockey. So I just am winging it here, and maybe you like it. So if you do, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tell your friends about it. This would have been the second show of the week. I didn't do the Soul show. I do another show on Wednesday nights. here on YouTube. Also, it's live on Oldies and More Radio too. And I take requests. If I have the record, I'll play it for you. If I don't, well then you're out of luck. But anyway, I'll be back on Saturday night beginning at 9 p.m. with all your requests. That show has been, we had the biggest show last Saturday night, I have to say. Had a lot of people tuned into the program. And I added this one here, and this is really the only time I get to hear my 78s. Let's put it that way. We're going to close down pretty soon, but let's do a few more here. This is actually a flip side from last week. What did I do with it? Here we go. So I played a release on George Gollner's Rama Records by Paul Williams and his orchestra. That was the only thing that was on I think it's the first press, but it was really Little Willie John. It was a Little Willie John single. It was called darn. I didn't write it down. It was called, I forget. So like I told you, I'm not a professional disc jockey. We'll talk about it after. I'll call it up on 45 Cat. But we're going to hear the flip side of that, which is a female, this gal. Her name, Lena Gordon. And again, the Paul Williams and his orchestra get top billing. And this isn't an easy record to find by any means, let alone I never even knew it existed on a 78. But I ended up getting a copy of this on George Gollner's Rama Records, May 55. It's Lena Gordon. It's an R&B tune. It's called Don't Teach Me, parentheses, to Mambo is the name of it. Let's give it a spin.
Hey, stop. Don't play the mambo. Hooey, don't sway to the mambo. 'Cause he was teaching me the mambo and someone stole my man from me. Who that beat, it makes me hazy. Those mambo steps, they drive me crazy. 'Cause he was teaching me the mambo and someone stole my man from me. Bring him back, bring him back. Bring him back home to me. Bring him back, bring him back. Bring him back home to me. Bring my baby back home where he should be. He taught me how to go to and fro. He taught me how to go fast and slow. But when it came down to turn around, my daddy was nowhere to be found. Now, you heard the story. Now, you got the news that he was teaching me the mambo, but instead I learned the mambo blues.
There you go. That's her name is Lena Gordon. Lena Gordon, May 1955 release. That's George Gollner's Rama Records, a song entitled Don't Teach Me, parentheses, to Mambo. And she's on this side. I think this was the intended A side. The flip side, it says it has only Paul Williams and his orchestra. And it's kind of weird. It says Betty Ann, but of course the song was really something like Ring-a-Ling, I think, because it was reissued. Or I should say, Gollner put it out again as Little Willie John as the vocalist. But it just says Vocal Jump. Pretty kind of weird thing with the Goldner, although sometimes some of the things he did was kind of weird. Put out all these different things with the Wrens with different flips and whatnot. But anyway, we got 4 more 45s. How about 4 more 78s to go before we sign off here? And let's bring back Billy Ward and the Dominoes again. And I'm sure many of you are familiar with their tune called 60 Minute Man. Well, they did an answer tune to that. So I don't know if we got any 60-minute men out there. When you get too old, you can't really dance for 60 minutes anymore. But this is from February 55. This is a answer tune to that. It's their 16th release on the Federal record label, Sid Nathan's Federal Records. It features the bass here of Cliff Givens. He is the bass on this. Bill Brown long left because he was on that. He was doing the lead on that 60 Minute Man. But this is from February 55. Billy Ward and his Dominoes on Federal Records. It's called Can't Do 60 No More.
Look who's coming down the street. It's the 60-minute man. Doesn't he look bad, though? Yes, he does. We have some girls we want you to meet, Dan, but you look terrible. 60-minute man. 60-minute man.
Look here, girls, my name is Dan, as I told you once before. Please excuse my blown-out view, because I can't do 60 no more. I used to rock 'em all night long, now they say that I'm a bore. Now I guess I'll take a rest, because I can't do 60 no more. I tried my luck with Lucy, I messed around with Mary Jane. Well, when I got through with Susie, I was walking with a cane. Go ahead, girls, forget old Dan. Now you know the score. Just be my friend, this is the end, because I can't do 60 no more. He can't do 60 no more. No. He can't do 60 no more. Please excuse my blown out views, you know
he can't do 60 no more.
He can't do I can't do it. Yeah.
He can't do 60 no more.
Now I guess I'll take a little rest,
because he can't do 60 no more.
Yes, you know I tried my luck with Lucy, and I messed around with Mary Jane. But when I got through with Susie, I was walking with a cane. Go ahead, girls, forget old Dan. Now you know the score. Just be my friend. This is the end. You know I can't do 60 no more. No, I can't
do 60 no more.
As February 1955 release there for the Billy Ward and his Dominoes, that one there with Cliff Givens on lead. It's Can't Do 60 No More. Now, Tony Barcia mentions in the chat room that the Dewdroppers also do a song. Yes, Can't Do 60 No More. Ginyard, J.C. Ginyard gets the writer credit on that. This one is Billy Ward wrote this tune, and also Rose Marks. Rose Marks also wrote the tune. I think they were. She was the manager of the group, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, but we got 3 more 78s to go. Here's a flip side from the last 78 show. I featured the Hearts on the last show with I Had a Guy. I think was the B-side of the 78. But let's give a listen to the intended A-side. I think Joyce West is also doing lead on the flip side. This is on Saul Rabinowitz's Baton Records out of New York City. This was their 5th and final release on Baton from August 56. Excuse me. These are the Hearts with a tune called He Drives Me Crazy, the Hearts.
Well, did you see that guy I was out with last night? Well, did you see that guy I was out with last night? He's nice and tall, built to please, oh yeah, he's alright. I'm gonna ask that guy if he likes me to be his wife. I'm gonna ask that guy if he likes me to be his wife. He'll take me home and God knows he'll treat me right. He calls me baby, drives me crazy. I love him, yes I do. He says he loves me, don't want nobody to know. He says he loves me, don't want nobody to know. I'm telling everybody, chase away my blues. He calls me baby, drives me crazy. I love him, yes I do.
Girl Groove sounds as we close down here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. They're called The Hearts. Zell Sanders managed the group, The Hearts, but they brought them over to Saul Rabinowitz's Baton Records. That's their fifth release from August 56. The Hearts with He Drives Me Crazy. Sometimes Johnny G drives the listeners crazy, so I apologize for that. But let us continue here. Two more 78s to go. We go out to California now. This quintet from Los Angeles, California, had the distinction of having two records out on the charts at the same time under two different names. So if you saw the Cadets and the Jacks on the charts, they were the same group. And of course their biggest hit was a song called Stranded in the Jungle, as done by the Cadets. It was their 7th of 12 on the Bahari Brothers Modern record label. But let's flip Stranded in the Jungle over, give a listen to the B-side here. As when I talked to Bill Obe about this record, he says, Johnny, this is popular over in Europe. They never play Stranded in the Jungle. They play this side. So we'll send this one out to listener Bill Obe, who, by the way, did a fantastic Christmas special on the Rhythm and Blues Serenade last Sunday on Frank and Gordon's Rhythm and Blues Serenade. And he did a great job there. I have to talk to Bill, see what transpired after that show there. But Bill is always welcome here to do specials here on the Thursday afternoon show, and he will be doing that. But let's give a listen to this tune here. It features Dub Jones on lead from June of 1956, the Cadets on Modern. The flip side of Stranded in the Jungle, it's called I Want You.
If you wanna be my only love, I want you. I want you. If you wanna be my lovey dove, I want you. I want you. But if you don't want to treat me right, get out of my face, get out of my sight, 'cause I don't want nobody that ain't got eyes for me. If you really want me for for yourself. I want you.
I want you.
Promise not to look at no one else. I want you.
I want you.
But if you want to string me on your line, be long gone, baby, put it out of your mind. 'Cause I don't want nobody that ain't got eyes for me. You ain't the only pebble on the beach. You ain't the only monkey in the zoo. But all you got to do is play it straight, and baby, I can really go for you. All you got to do is understand. I want you.
I want you.
Let me be your only lover, man. I want you.
I want you.
But if you don't want to treat me right, stop your teasing and holding me tight. 'Cause I don't want nobody that ain't got eyes for me. You ain't the only pebble on the beach. You ain't the only monkey in the zoo. But all you got to do is play it straight, and baby, I could really go for you. All you got to do is understand. I want you.
I want you.
Let me be your only lover, man. I want you.
I want you.
But if you don't want to treat me right, stop your teasing and holding me tight. 'Cause I don't want nobody that ain't got eyes for me. No, I don't want nobody that ain't got eyes for me.
B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. There you go. It's not by request. Those are the Cadets. That's the flip side of Stranded in the Jungle, a song entitled I Want You. That's the bass lead, Dub Jones on lead, June 1956 release on the Baharis Brothers Modern record label. That's going to do it for Johnny G and the All 78 show. I apologize for being, almost more than a half hour late on the program here, so I apologize for that, but maybe it was well worth waiting for. I don't know, but I hope you enjoyed yourself, those of you tuned in to the program. Maybe you don't have to listen to the whole show. You can always come back and check it out on the archive. Copyright Police were a little bit bothersome there, but they didn't shut down the program like they do all of a sudden. But thank you all for being here. Again, if you have a request or you need to get in touch with me, send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. I only feature, hopefully it will be changing in the future sometime, where I can somehow play maybe some unreleased things on CDs at least. But again, I only do a vinyl show, so everything I play is real and tangible. It's not make-believe, it's real. So maybe I think I've played a couple boots here on the program. Those are not considered real. But you heard all originals today on the program. Hopefully most of them sounded okay to your ears, but again, I play them on my Audio Technicas. They are pretty good turntables. I gave you a history about my work history. People were, maybe that bored you, but I had a very interesting work career, I will tell you that much. But again, also an interesting collecting career. So thank you all for being here this afternoon. And I hope to see some of you on Saturday night beginning at 9 p.m. I'll be back with your requests. Charlene is working on them. Charlene is my administrative assistant. She's been pretty silent today on the program, but she is tuned in, as well as Grace and my mom are downstairs. I'm wondering what they were there. So I'm going to go down and get their synopsis. So thank you all for being here. Again, if you're new to the program, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Tell your friends about it. Click that thumbs up. There's a bell there. You got to be signed into YouTube. There were about 500, a little bit over 500 people that came to the program today. That's pretty big for this 78 show. I don't know what the peak was here in the chat room, but I normally don't get this many coming in on a Thursday, so this show is exploding like Alan Freed's Wins program did. But anyway, that's a good thing. So thank you all for being here. I hope everybody had a great Christmas, and everybody happy Hanukkah and happy New Year. Those of you that I will not see on Saturday, I want to wish you all a very happy and healthy New Year, and all the best in 2025. I can't believe it's 2025. For someone that was born in 1958, it's a long time ago. Well, I'm only talking to certain people, I guess. But we're going to close the show today with a group from Newark, New Jersey, as we go to High Weiss's Old Town record label. And this record comes a couple of ways. It was first issued as Wonder of the World, and I do have a nice copy of that I picked up out of Greg's collection. But then they quickly, I don't know what they did, they said, wait a minute, we can't call it Wonders, let's call it Seven Wonders of the World. Why they did that, I'll never know, but that's what this one says. Seven Wonders of the World, which is the easy one. It isn't in the greatest shape, but it's such a great tune, a great two-sided 78. If I said 45, you have to forgive me. It's from August 57, our closer for this afternoon, the Keytones. The Keytones on Old Town Records with Seven Wonders of the World. That's going to do it, folks. Happy New Year to all, and I will see you next time right here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Just want to say, everybody, so long. The Keytones.
You are one of the wonders of the world. One, my only one, two, I belong to you, three, you belong to me, four, five's great to be alive, six, our hearts had to mix, seven, we'll go to heaven, still in love. One, two, I belong to you, three, you belong to me, four, five, it's great to be alive, six, our hearts had to mix, seven, we'll go to heaven, still in love. Still in love.